Hi, and welcome to Odyssey of Ascension. Today is Q&A day, and I'm Roxanne. Thank you for tuning in. I have a green shirt on, so I'm not sure how it's going to do with the background. So you might see some, what do you call it? Like I'm disappearing?
It might be this cool floating head.
Just a floating head. I don't know, but I wanted to wear the
Floating
shirt because
head and
it's new
arms.
and I bought it and I said, fuck it, I'm wearing it. So we'll see how it turns out. So
Awesome.
It's Q&A day, and thank you all once again for participating with the idea. And so here we go. We're going to do 20 questions today and the rest on Friday. 18 to 20 today, just depends. And greetings once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius. You bid you a good day. Let us begin the idea of our Q&A once again. How exciting. Rita.
The first question is from Roman P., who asks, I just would like to know if there is any information you would like to share with me. I'm excited to hear what you will tell me.
Yes. The idea of Roman P. Stand by. Just know this, Roman. The idea of exciting for me, the Roman, is a construct of wanting to understand what Roman is. So you feed off of the other's input to get this idea of taking Roman to a new part of himself. But just like me, I'm an expression. Just like you, you're an expression. Just like all of the entities around you, you're just simply an expression. Now, Roman, behind your eyes is the energizer of that expression. So, this is what we would like to tell you. You're a thought expressing Roman. You have been a thought in your validating idea of time. You've been 1,000 different things. So let's not harbor on Roman. Let's see what energizes Roman. Maintenance apparently is busy. So Roman, view yourself from a energy behind you, expressing this body. This outfit that you wore on Friday in all of the creation. And Saturday you will wear another outfit. And that'll be Darlene. And then Sunday you'll be Mac. And then Monday you'll be Esther. Make sense? Look behind the eyes and focus not on Roman. Roman is an expression of you. Find out what you are. Wonderful. Bit of a surprise. Go ahead.
Okay, this is from Gideon. For the next Q&A, I had a meditation for my higher self. I saw 3 aspects of me: alien, Beshtar, an earth elemental, no name, but I call him G.O.B., and
God.
angelic, Rachiel. Now I don't know, but is the purpose to merge them?
No.
Are those the names of my guides? Thank you.
Could be. Could be your names of your guides if you deem them that. Your reality is neutral and you assign it meaning. They are probable interactions of expression, of creation, to understand the limitations within yourself. What you are, creating the idea through the angelic, through the alien, through the idea of different modalities. Truly. You're an expression feeling creation. That feeling has importance to you. And what that importance is your reality. And those are now guides of yours if you choose them to be. There's only one guide, guys, and it's you. You're just having a rodeo, riding along creation, skimming along the surface, if you will, of all that is. Have fun with it. Don't look for meaning behind everything in such a modality, and if I don't understand it, I'm going to put myself backwards. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to get off track. Then you give your reality that. Then you feed the mirror that. And when you choose not to feed that arrogance anymore of, I need to know, then guess what happens? The reality is free to run undistorted. Your vibrational mirror is more clean. So those ideas are for what you choose them to be. It's your neutral reality. True. Go ahead.
There's a second part to the question. I know same energy attracts same energy, so in other words, how many of those that are watching your vids are you from Sylvester? In other words, how many of us are from your oversoul?
Well, let's put it like this. From a perspective of what you want to understand, hundreds of thousands. But see, there's an idea beyond that that's incomprehensible. And the idea beyond that is an idea that there is no idea oversoul. It's you guys figuring it out so you can have a logical equation to put it together logically so you can make sense of what creation. There is an idea oversoul creation entity. But it all comes down to the singularity you are. So that fashionable idea knowledge is transient. It serves you no purpose in the idea of what you guys call the long run. It's another piece of information to mark down, categorize, and place neatly over there. Don't worry about the soul, the oversoul, and the oversoul is oversoul. Because that just gives you definition of clarity. The clarity that leads where? Into the land of information, but it does not exist in the wonderful world of knowledge. Wisdom. That move you beyond this idea, expression your being. The idea of Gideon. So now that I know that everyone else is in on the game, how can anyone else not be in on the game? We're all one. Law number 2. Everything is here and now. So everyone and all of creation is right here. And it's a matter of focus to understand that co-creation. And it's all in the now, sequentialtaneously. So all of the ideas of Sylvester Ocyphius are right and couched within this idea paradigm. You, me, Rita. But I am most certainly part of Rita. I am part of Rita's higher self. I am part of Rita's oversoul if you want to play that game of logic. But my focus is in this idea expression, offering, giving. And that of Roxy journeying home is to find out what she is. What's the thought behind the thought? The unnameable idea of creation that energizes all of it. The Creator, God, Source. Play with it. Truly. Go ahead.
This is from Symmetry. Any messages from my Zeta Gray friends?
Symmetry. We are by your side. Symmetry. We thank you for your DNA. End transmission.
Heels, Roxy.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is from Zach D.
Mm.
Nikola Tesla has been quoted saying, if you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe.
Yes.
Can you explain what the magnificence of the numbers 3, 6, and 9 are?
They're awesome. 3, 3, and 3. 3, 6, 9. Trinity. 9 being the end, leading back to 0, the 1, the isness, the nothingness. 10. 1. Next. Whole bunch of different things behind it. The idea of Nikola Tesla was a mathematical idea of genius, much as many others on your, let's say, scoped planet. And in that lies the intricacies of, let's say, how, in your relatable understanding to reality, it works. How structure works in many fashions, how vibrational frequencies interacts with many fashions through the idea of 369. But we are not going to spill it out. Oh no. This is the journey for those who have given it. For there are many ideas out there which will, let's say, offer this in a thesis kind of way. And in a, let's say, quantum field kind of way. To bring those who lack the idea of belief in the beyond the physical realm, scientists, to move them into the quasi-field with something as tangible as numbers. So the 369 is still being, let's say, battered around out there. And there is an endless amount of information. And you will spend many let's say, hours, days, years, months, millennia, understanding the intricacies of numerology. You have just now begun to understand it in a fraction of which was equatable to your addition. Truly. So the idea of that was not going to be spoken in this manner. For there are others that are fervently working on it. It is their joy, and they will bring it forth to the collective as a part of the, let's say, bridge. A bridge between the idea of logic world and intuition world. The quasi-scientists and the hard fact scientists. And that bridge is numbers. Booyah. Go ahead.
This is from Javier. Or Xavier.
Xavier,
Yeah.
wonderful.
I have a question for the next Q&A. A while ago, I had a dream about a tower that reached almost to outer space. This tower was in front of my house, where a mountain normally is. It was very similar to the Tower of Pisa, with each level in a different color. Any info on this dream is appreciated. Thank you.
Yes. This idea of vibrational earth. It is a truly another earth that's on top of the earth that you are now existing in. Where the mountain should be, there was this idea tower. It is two frequencies on top of each other. And you, in that dream state, were seeing the here and now in different frequencies. It was an earth, a parallel earth, one of technology, not understood by the ones choosing to focus in upon this earth. That's a different earth playing out, but many of you are now realizing you can shift different ideas. It's presented through the dream state as a vibrational recognition of relationship to that earth, and then, let's say, coalesced by the subconscious, brought into the conscious self, and the conscious self either accepts or denies it. If the acceptance of it, the frequency of visits to that other idea earth will come in reoccurrences through first your dream state, so familiarity of that relationship may become comfortable, and then maybe in lucid or astral, or the idea of meditation. And then in that frequency, the ability of many in the forefront runners, one of you, truly, Xavier, the forefront runners of having the ability to shift parallel realities within a frequency range of understanding. Then measurable by scientists to know through the technology that has now been developed, however not been released, to put the radio waves, the frequency waves, the electronic waves that are in your mind in the picturesque kind of form and transmit them on a TV screen. So whatever you are experiencing in here, the collective whole can see. This is where technology is going. And you are one of those ideas, birthing, playground of shifting realities of the here and now in the frequency range called Earth. Booyah. Go ahead.
This is from Shane B.
Mm-hmm.
Was Rudolf Steiner, the founder of Waldorf schools, a walk-in or a shove-in? If so, what family of ETs was he involved with?
Well, there's no shoving. That's truly. And it's not an ET family he was involved with. In the idea of your walk-in structure, you stated your question. The walk-in, yes, in the idea between the ages of 25 and 37. Then the idea walk in, walked out, and the other original idea came back to finish out the journey. So in that idea, there was no relationship to the walk-in as far as an extraterrestrial idea race. The involvement in the extraterrestrial idea from the circumferencing idea you're trying to understand is that of the Zeta Grays and the Arcturians. Go ahead.
Okay, this is from Andy H.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I began an exciting relationship with a wonderful person.
Yay.
It was initiated by a whole series of synchronicities with owls. I've heard that others have had experiences with owls that seem to be related to extraterrestrials or other dimensional beings. Would you provide more insight about owls?
As we say, Rita, you have the floor.
Owls are frequently used as a screen memory when you have interactions with particularly the Greys. And you will have a memory of an owl rather than of the Grey. And the idea that it initiated this particular relationship, yes, that happens frequently in the whole community of UFO people, that it's frequently called a love bite, where somehow you meet this person and you have to be with this person, and whatever it takes, you both rearrange your lives to make that happen.
Sounds like it happened with them.
And frequently it is because then they will pursue a project together that advances disclosure or better understanding of the UFO ET phenomena.
Excellent. And could you define once again screen memory?
Screen memory, that is when they have the ability to implant in your memory an image that sort of covers what you actually experienced.
Bingo.
So it's like a screen over what you actually saw.
Excellent. Great idea of the owl idea interactions. Beautiful explanation. Thank you so much. Next question.
This is from Diva Jules, Julie J.
Mm-hmm.
My question is about those who bring forth messages.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the question will not be addressed because someone or something does not allow them to speak about certain things. Who is this someone, something? Why does it censor answers or not want to share certain seemingly random things? And what would happen if they were to disobey and give out the information anyway? If we have free will and they are willing to field questions, why would they then say that they can't give an answer regarding certain things?
Because the one who says they can't say is that person's choice. The ones behind wanting to say whatever the answer is not, let's say, being given, because the one they're getting the information through is the one that's choosing to say they don't want to say. That's their own vibrational choice translation of the message. So in other words, if you asked me a question and I went up to the higher self of you to answer the question, and then Roxy would answer the question by saying they don't want to answer the question, that's Roxy's choice, not the entity's about, because that's a probable reality of the idea between you and the conduit in that fashion, the guides that you're seeking. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Okay. This is from James C.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that I have a parallel life that's heavily influencing this one that is in India. A large portion of my life has been exploring the great Hindu wisdoms, and I found a lot of alignment with them. Namely, I felt a lot of resonance with Advaita or non-dualism, which basically teaches that the truth or reality of one and all beings is formless and infinite, and that all form and beliefs and thoughts are illusion. The conflict I have is I also resonate with the ideas, beliefs, and rituals of the more Aquarian age, like law of attraction, crystals, and energy work, channeling, higher selves, etc. These two worlds are similar, the thought that we are all God, but differ in the doing practices. I guess it's not really a question, more so than an asking of perspective on this situation. Also, I would like to know the name of my higher self or guide that is around me the most, and if they have anything they'd like to tell me.
Yes. All right. The first idea, which came first? The law of attraction idea, the waking up, the ascension idea that you're now playing in now, or the Hinduism? The Hinduism. And the Hinduism was a rung of the ladder to get to this ladder, to get to this rung, to get to this idea. Let it go. All truths are truth. Stay in the now. Whatever vibrates is what? The purposeful idea of now. There's your choice. The, let's say, friction you're feeling is not another lifetime in that idea. It is what you would call a parallel life of another self. That kind of one. Let's not say it's history. We're not going to get into the details. Let's say it's a parallel you. And you are both connected because you are open to the connection idea of all that is. So you feel the resonance. You feel that scope of truth of reality through that parallel self saying this is real, and the one that's choosing this. So the idea is for you to choose you, that idea. That is what you would call an older self. That self got you to this self through its interactions. But if you want to hold on to the idea of the past, so be it. And the idea of your higher self's name. Tom. Simple as that. You will have a new name if you choose, but just call him Tom, and you know why. Go ahead.
This is from Jody R.
And no messages, by the way.
Okay.
Tom does have messages if you choose to speak to him, but none through this now. Go ahead.
Okay. So the next question is from Jody R. Do I have any hybrid children?
Yes.
If so, can you give me a name or a symbol I can visualize to try and connect with him or her?
Okay. It's not one, it's several. There are 34 hybrid children you have between two different species. Most of them are with the Yael civilization. The Yael are the most easily to, let's say, connect with. Most simply because they're here and now, as well as the Essassani hybrids are here and now as well. But those are a different idea of human idea DNA. And they are distant in time, which you understand and validate. So therefore, it is easier to understand the Yael in the here and now. So how to connect to them is to understand a meditation. For you, simply would be this. To sit in your isness in whatever way you choose. To fashion a moment of stillness in whatever way you choose. Do not have to make it too let's say, ritualistic, too extraordinary, mystical. Just be the stillness, the isness of now. And the connection, the ability for all Yael children with that of the human idea, let's say, donors, is so easily because the vibrational relationship to DNA genes within the construct of what you call offspring and parents is very easily noticeable, recognizable that by the children of the Yael to find and connect and be with their parents in whatever way. Only acceptable, of course, to the human parent in that idea. In other words, they won't come barging and knocking in on your door if you're not ready for them. But they will most certainly speak to you up here. You have several over what you call 2 generations of this idea. And generations is not the same time frequency as what you consider a generation, so let time go on that factor. Next.
She has a second question.
Beautiful.
Do you see my husband Wayne getting any help with his alcohol issues in the near future?
Yes. The help is to not validate it from you anymore. He is an alcoholic in the now, not in time. As long as you validate and he validates that he is an alcoholic, then he will only live the paradigm of being an alcoholic. And everything that is deemable, definable, structurable within the human collective of that idea, an alcoholic. So you're fucked past Wednesday. If you are in an alcoholic program, you haven't had a drop in 20 years, but yet you live under the guise of being an alcoholic. We say go to the 13th step, not the idea, reflection of that echoing Bashar, but the idea of that echoing, let's say, me. So in the idea, we understand that there is no now other than the now. The now that you validate, hello Rob, in the future or the past of a definition validates the probability in frequency recognition, experience, being an alcohol. The idea is not the alcoholism. The idea is the escape that results from the alcoholism. So how does it get better? Talk to him, darling. Be the listener, not the fearful idea. Be the one with the compassionate, open, idea-loving heart. And let him spill his guts on the event that caused his idea to run away. The idea of identity, the idea of shame, and the idea of guilt. And you will journey into an unknown, let's say, tough ground, as a lot of humans will translate. But it is most brilliant, and it is most auspicious that you guys have chosen this idea for yourselves as a great release for that of the collective, to understand that the paradigm defined as alcoholism may be diminished according to the idea of each individual as they define that idea from this now forward. He is not an alcoholic, he is now. Truly. This is all. Go ahead.
This is from Victor G. How did we learn to create distortion on the mirror to begin with? Is there words or meditations to be more in the now, especially when 3D appears to be intense?
Hi guys, Sylvester.
Hey.
Hi Deb.
Hey, Sly.
Good to see you. So say that one again.
How did we learn to create distortion on the mirror to begin with?
You're natural born creators. You're vibrators of reality with no intentional focus because you are will. The will of you creates. And as you have the formidable idea going into the idea before the fractalized self was known, the one of separation, you were still understanding that you were an idea of creation. And in that, the vibrational signature to create what you call Earth was now in play. So that vibrational signature of never trying to create Earth as the reflection holodeck is in play. Go ahead.
The other part of the question was...
Loving the fart noises.
Yeah. Are there words or meditations to be more in the now?
Yes.
Especially when 3D appears to be intense.
Now. That's it.
Now.
Where am I? Now.
Now.
Oh yeah, I'm right now. And when you look at the now, guys, okay, when you have those struggles, those fears, look at the now. And if you have time to look in the now, then you're not in danger. Because if you're in danger, you're not paying attention to fear. You're in danger. So what you're doing is, if you're looking for an idea right now to how to stay more in the now, simply ask yourself, am I out of the now? When you feel the fear, oh, that fear is not real. It's the past, isn't it? It's a belief system I started 10, 15 years ago because if this person said this, and I held on to it as a tangible reality, and I keep dragging it through time into this now. And here I am doing it now. Or I can let go of that and focus on anything other than that now, 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 now. Even if it sounds silly, you can be now all the time. That's it.
Okay. The next one, and there's like two questions, is from Dead Man's Cross.
Wonderful.
First, what is the idea of sun gazing, staring into the sun, all about, and what benefits, if any, are attainable through that idea?
Okay, the first idea is the Hathors brought that to the civilization many eons ago, different collapse timelines. We're not going to get into the details, but the idea is you feed yourself. And if you do truly, at a younger age, I would not recommend it now, at a younger age, stare at the sun, you will notice a blue idea, shadow, moving about on top of the sun. That is a built-in algorithm, if it's developed from when you're a child, to block out the harmful rays, which you guys call harmful rays from the sun, and have the ability to stare straight into it because it feeds you. It feeds you light. Hathors know that the sun feeds you light, and you are a light being. So it truly energizes you. What you can do now is, if you choose to, you go outside and you can look at the sun and drop your eyes a little bit below the idea horizon of the bottom of the sun. Gaze into it, below it, and kind of close your eyes to that point. And not all the way closed, but just to where you see your lovely lashes like Roxy's. And then that's about it. For about 10 minutes a day, if you choose. 10 minutes, 5 in the morning, 5 in the evening, if you want to. You don't need to do it every day, but now and again is beneficial. As well as the triangle of a magnifying idea. Now, it's not a real magnifier in the idea of physicality, but the structure that we're going to give you defines it as that, so encoded into your reality will be the definition of that, enhancing the signature of your now magnifying glass that looks like a triangle. And you scope it, position yourself to right on your, right there, solar plexus. And this enhances with both feeding the light body. Booyah. How you doing, Tom?
Doing very well.
Good. Very good.
The second part of the question is the idea of numerology or sacred geometry at work in this universe, or is it only for those who make that idea valid for themselves?
Both is correct. Yes, it is. It is numerology and sacred geometry is a let's say universal structure of this entire idea. What you just said, universe. Many civilizations use these ideas in different forms of, let's say, ritualistic ideas, forgotten species that are still connected to source but not at the idea of, let's say, fully awake, use these ideas. Of course, yes, they're used all over. And of course on Earth, because you focus on it and it's a high benefit. It's a great benefit for people to move themselves out of one idea of definable framework and move into a higher idea, expanding the framework and moving forward and such. Beautiful. How many questions is that?
That was 12.
Keep moving.
This question is from Peter. My question is, when one reads books or watches old YouTube or DVDs, is the information read or listened to as fresh or new as the moment it was originally spoken? For example, if I watch a YouTube clip from 2 years ago of Ocyphius, or I've read Jane Roberts' Seth Speaks from 1974, is the information from that book or YouTube clip as new as it was when originally transcribed? I have read the book 4 or 5 times over the years, and I find each time I've read it, something new shows up pertinent to the time frame I am in at that moment.
Perfect. Absolutely. You've answered your own question.
Yeah.
Every now of following your joy, whether it was structured in the past, that now is something there beneficial for you. It hits you in a different way, a different angle, a different understanding. So if I have a channeling that's 3 years old, but here comes Mr. Entity walking along, bumps into my channeling on YouTube, gets what he needs, it moves along. But if he judges that, oh, it's 3 years old, it's not good, that's an idea of judgment. So whatever's in your reality, follow. And so when you have validated yourself, because you read Seth, much like people have, let's say, read the biblical idea and many different historical nows, and they're like, holy shit, I didn't look at it that way before. And they look at the same passage and they look at it from a different perspective, in the same idea with your Seth books. Absolutely. It's valid to the individual in the now. And remember, the memory is given in the moment. So there might be a timeline that you read this entire book and then boom, you never got that idea. You watch this video back then, but in the new now, you don't give yourself the memory of ever watching that video. It's so magical. Go ahead.
Okay. This is from Cherie.
Hello, Cherie.
I have a sleeping disorder called...
No, that's mine.
Okay. I have a sleeping disorder called narcolepsy with cataplexy. I spoke with another person or spiritual advisor, if you will, about why I would have chosen such an emotionally and often physically debilitating disease for this lifetime. She relayed to me that it was, in fact, not my choice. It was something that was given to me by the Anunnaki. Now, in my understanding, the Anunnaki thrive on our low vibrations, fear, sadness, frustration, or what have you. If that is the case, then I could totally understand why they would want as many people as possible to have narcolepsy. Unless you are heavily medicated with some powerful drugs, you can't stay awake or experience laughter or excitement without collapsing to the floor, literally. Laughter has so much light energy, I can understand why the Anunnaki wouldn't want people to experience it. Please shed some light on this for me. I am sleeping my life away and am always tired. Thank you for your assistance.
Okay. From our perspective, you absolutely chose it. And the honor, why is my phone, give me that phone. Why are the, it's, Roxy's saying it's the Pages manager. I mean, that's like, who is just riding the shit out of Roxy?
A big fan.
A big fan. Okay. The choice of the Anunnaki is a paradigm. If you want to validate it and you want to be a victim to it, then more power to you. We love you for your choices. You chose the idea. In our reality, Roxy's reality, there's no infringement upon free will. Because if there was one that had an idea of shoving something down someone's throat, and the fashionable idea of at the expense of them, then, in other words, no free will choice, creation would have ended. Because if there's one in charge, the in charge is going to get sucked into his own vortex of egoic structure and put limitations on everything, including creation, which is everything. And then when there's a limit on creation, creation collapses because it comes to an ending. So we absolutely 100% know from our perspective, it's all choice telling, that there is no infringement upon free will, and you absolutely chose narcolepsy. So the Anunnaki are awesome. We have dinner with them. They are right here. Hello. And they are no better or no worse than anything you've ever seen in all creation. It's only definable from the perspective of your growth in polarity. You were born into up and down, left and right, good and bad. And you're validating it by validating it. So the interaction you got with the other spiritual guide was for you to choose that reality or not. And then that idea was to show you you took the choice of being the victim to the Anunnaki. Big bag motherfuckers. They're gods. They're creation. They're love. They're dancing, they're laughing, they're singing, they're praising. They have all those wonderful ideas that you imagine the angels have. But you put a definition on it and it shuts it down and says, you're the Anunnaki. And then you fucking hate them. And then you're this and that and doing all this about that. And then you're saying, I'm a victim to the Anunnaki for narcolepsy. Let's not play that. If you choose, then you will only vibrate in that reality and attract, not the Anunnaki, attract the co-creators of your world that believe that, and that will be your paradigm. Now, why you chose it is because you want to understand life from a different perspective. You're struggling to fit in with the life of what it is to be a normal human being. But the validation of narcolepsy as an excuse has given you the struggle of fitting in. When we say this, let go of everything you think you should do as a human, period. Let the narcolepsy run its course. You're no longer validating it. And when you do, go to sleep, then get up and go about your nows. And when you do it again and again and again, get up and go about your nows. Do not harbor it. Do not fight it. The struggle is already less because you're not going to play the victim role from the narcolepsy idea excuse. You're going to be a badass. I know it. There it is again.
Maybe if you put it on airplane mode or something.
It's on vibrate, but this pages manager, someone from Facebook just can't get enough of writing Roxy a message right now.
It has to be one of her big fans.
It's a big fan. And okay, 4 new messages. Okay. This is exciting. Okay, Anthony Reyes, we've got your messages. I realize if someone, oh, okay. Yeah. Breathe easy, young Jedi. We'll get to it. Okay. Long messages. He's a little upset. He's vibrating. We'll give him some love.
Yes.
We'll give him some love. Absolutely. All right, so that's the idea of the narcolepsy.
Okay. So the next question is from Joyce.
Hello, Joyce.
How do we come to terms with ourselves while living inside our physical bodies? I realize there are many choices and scenarios from which we can play out, yet I'm at a crossroads of sorts.
Okay.
Please provide whatever clarity you may see fit to share.
To become in terms with being a human, living with a human body. We chose.
It's how do we come to terms with ourselves while living inside our physical bodies?
Yeah.
So not
yeah.
identifying with her body at all.
Well, why not? It's the vessel you use. It's creation.
Yeah.
It's the ability to experience 3D.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the way I move into the reality. I can't see the microbe until I get the vessel called a microscope to let me see into that world. So you get to see into the world and be and experience this world, everything, because of the body. So love this thing. Love the vessel. Love it because it gives you the ability to relate to a frequency called physicality. 3D. It's pretty awesome. And the body and the emotions and the senses and the abilities it has fucking rocks. So you don't have to deal with it or come to terms with it because I've got to write a frickin' dissertation on terms now. And then I have to have some things on the terms let it go. Love this rockin' human body. Love it. It is extraordinary. When you agree, Tom?
For the most part, yeah.
But there's some things you're not real happy about.
Okay.
I'm just glad that humans are not immortal, because I don't want to be here forever.
Oh yeah, the immortal thing. Yeah, we don't want to be here forever, but you know, it's all choice, right, Dave?
Maybe somewhere 100 years, maybe 120 max.
100 to 120 years, you get your fill.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right.
I'm going for 160.
I love it. Go ahead.
The next question is from Palm Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
2 questions. First question, as earrings, I'm attracted to onyx and jade. Is it true that different crystals and minerals represent and hold unique vibrations of expression? And how do you personally interpret those 2 gems mentioned?
Yes, they do, and they're interpreted by 2 ways. Your own intuition or the idea of a crystal mystic. Let's call it that. Someone who is focused on the vibrational reality of gems and stones and what they vibrational signatures encouched within them, their signature, beaming out whatever it is, you know, the idea of this crystal heals this and this crystal does that, absolutely. That's the co-creation reality that you believe, that's the co-creation reality you get. So you can either A, trust your intuition, or B, use an idea of a guide. Someone that knows the idea of stones and gems and what they do, and you are attracted to jade. Jade was your idea is because you spent many times in that idea part of the Pacific Rim, and that was a very familiar idea stone of yours that you worked with, pardon me, over the years. As well as onyx was the other one, right?
Yes, onyx and jade.
Onyx. What's the matter, Boo Boo Bear?
sleep.
And onyx has the same idea. It's a purposeful idea that was used in one of your, let's say, purposeful lives. And we say purposeful like that because it's played out already, so it served an idea of expansion in a Egyptian idea era with you. A stone layer, let's call it, embellished with stone, and onyx is what you like to work with. You inlaid many idea artifacts, many idea decorations, walls. What else did you have? Sarcophaguses, stones. We're feeling your reality and how you work with those. And now service them in whatever way you choose to. Go ahead.
Question number 2. I have a particular dream that won't leave the front of my awareness after ages, that I sense isn't a dream, but rather a clouded memory of having a meeting with what would commonly be known as human-gray hybrids. The 3 key components of the memory that I remember are that it was a short boy and a girl, a UFO leaving from near my rooftop and neighboring park, and that they could be related genetically. Can you elaborate? If so, thank you. Love your work.
Thank you. We love our work. So yeah, the dream that won't go away is an idea that you're holding on to because it was an experience, it was a memory. So it was not a dream, because the dream ideas, when you no longer focus on them, do whisk away and they're repeated in whatever way. Maybe you remember it in different now. But this one is a reoccurring because it's a experience that's brought up as far as that construct called a memory. So you are actually there. The little children that you saw were the ideas of the hybrid species. The idea ship was you being dropped off and then leaving, and the hybrid donator was you. So you saw your children in that idea. Co-creation. Very good. Go ahead.
This is from Soru Fleet. Could you tell me if Ashtar the Pleiadian is in my oversoul? If so, could you tell me a bit about my connection and if he has anything to say to me? Thank you so much.
Ashtar who?
The Pleiadian. Pleiadian.
Pleiadian. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. And greetings. As far as your inquiry about your connection as an oversoul, we would say time to let go of tangible ideas of transient material. It is part of the collective of co-creation of humanity. Your connection idea is that on counsel with him is a probable self-reflection of yourself from your incarnation oversoul, if you want to use that term to understand clarity. However, not in your oversoul, as far as that incarnation you call Ashtar. In transmission. Okay.
Okay. So this question is from Cole M. And this is number 18. Can you give the audience and myself listening what the power of gratitude can do for someone? I feel that gratitude is the sole reason why I can continue loving my life.
Yes, good question.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Gratitude is wonderful. I thank you for this. Sometimes it's hard to accept what you're getting. People have a tough time because they think there might be someone came up to you and just said, here, and you would like, oh my gosh, thank you. However, what can I do for you? You want to pay it back, the whole karma thing, and let me pay it back to you right away. I don't deserve it. Is there anything attached? Do I need to do something for this? So all their minds, you know, a whole bunch of freaky things.
Yeah.
Gratitude is awesome, but let me, I want to explain this in the best way I can. I'm giving you something, and that is my joy. When you thank me, it's almost like I didn't get anything out of it. Maybe when I give, oh, I need no gratitude, because I filled my heart, leading to the idea of unconditional love. We give and we receive. That's how this whole thing is working. You understand? It gets smaller over here and then it gets bigger. And everyone is doing this. Mashing it all up, creating it, pulling and pushing, birthing, collapsing, birthing, collapse, birthing. And there's no, I did this for you, and you need to thank me. Because what I'm doing creates me. I can't get any more out of it. When I give, that's the highest person I can be. When I receive, that's the highest person I could be. Because that's all I am in all the nows. A constant flow of unconditional love in all directions. So you can be gracious. Really? Okay. You can be gracious. Of course. You're allowed. Beautiful. But understand, the person that's giving is receiving already. Because they were allowed to give. We are filled. No thanks needed. It is our joy. But you can use that idea if you choose. It's wonderful. Go ahead.
Let's see. This is from Luciana T.
Yeah.
My question is about what some people may call miracles and others will simply describe as something amazing that happens out of the blue when we are down on our luck.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that it doesn't go against what we hear about laws of attraction?
Law of attraction idea, right?
I'm talking about all the situations that leads people to believe in things like having to hit rock bottom in order to bounce back up, or that there is someone watching over us who comes to our aid in moments of desperate need, when even though our thoughts are very destructive and born from depression, life turns itself around, giving rise to ideas such as God have mercy on me, that kind of thing. I, for years, believed that it was the work of spiritual guides helping us in times of great need.
Yes.
Is there any truth in this belief?
Of course. So what you're basically saying, since I'm so far, so down, law of attraction shouldn't work. Why would I get a miracle if my vibration is rock bottom? Why would I get that? Is because the individual's vibration is not rock bottom. It's open. It's surrendered. It vibrated. The idea of I'm allowing a higher vibration to come in because I'm tired of distorting my frequencies, what's truly happening. It's the idea of the smell, and I'll explain this. When someone is happy, they smell good, and when someone is not happy, they don't smell so good in the terms of human range of smell. The person that is not smelling good, just for clarity, has given up, but they have not given in. And as soon as they give in, they smell wonderful again. And here comes the miracle of law of attraction. Because they put out a frequency that is undistorted now. They haven't run the frequency of interaction of unconditional love that is always flowing. You are a river of unconditional love, undistorted. And it's the perceiver that takes them and distorts and bends that light into the frequency you call humanity. And how you perceive the neutral reality of unconditional love flowing in. And that's what happens. Those ones that get so low They give up. And they choose that reality over and over until they give in. And then they smell like roses again. And here comes the law of attraction. And poof, the miracle comes. In whatever way you've mentioned, guides, angels, whatever is open in that co-creation now. Go ahead.
What are some things, oh, this is from Zeta Gray. What are some things my higher self can tell me to improve my sad life?
Zeta, come on. We've already had like a couple sessions with you. We love you to death. I want you to look at since when you first had a session with Ocyphius to this now. Everything that you've claimed, you're still here. Everything that you claimed is sad is you're still here. But that's not what you're focusing on. You're focusing on from that first interaction to this everything that hasn't happened. You're focusing on your idea of happiness. So since I don't have that, my pool of happiness, my definable idea, I'm going to look at my sadness that I am. And that's what you keep doing, Zeta. So in that idea, if, oh, very good. Oh, perfect. Okay. Here's my book of happiness. Okay. Through my experience of the past, Doctor Who makes me happy. Okay? Das Boot makes me happy. My God, Tom, you have the whole season? The whole, what is this? This is all Doctor Who?
That's only a small part of what I have.
Oh, some Star Wars. Awesome. Okay, so here's another category called Star Wars, which I consider happy. Now, don't define it as Star Wars. I'm just giving you a definition. So you flip through that notebook of happiness, what you consider happiness based off of your past, Zeta. And if it doesn't fit in that file system, in your reality doesn't reflect that, then you open the other folder. Ah. Perfect folder. Wasn't that a little synchronistic? Of nothingness, of sadness, of emptiness, of blackness. So you're playing in polarity because you're saying, if I'm not that, I must be this now over and over and over again. So we would suggest that you stop trying to be happy and just be. The moment of be freeze because you're not seeking. If I'm a mirror and I'm bouncing back and the mirror says this and I say, no, that's not happiness, then I'm running distortion on the frequency, and that's when you stop and let go. Give in, surrender, and get naked. Come on. Just get buck naked and let it come. And then your mind says, oh, it's not so bad anymore. Those are the belief systems that you are now engaging in and validating. So those belief systems are not going to be validated by you any longer because you're letting everything come now without getting mad at it, only taking and shoring up that wall of belief that says life is shitty. And thus all this sadness will stay in the past because you're now just not viewing and judging the reality, you're just allowing it. And then the frequencies get less and less undistorted, and then you, all of a sudden, you have this one right here, you go, a little tiny smile, little tiny smirk, little tiny grin, and it's not so bad. You gotta stop trying to visit aliens, you gotta stop trying to look for the magic moment. Let go of all the things you think ascension is. Redefine your now by being nothing. Get naked and let it go. And stop trying. Right now. And I know, in a few wistful days, Zeta will be a bigger Zeta. Go ahead.
Okay, that was 20 questions.
Oh my God. Look at that. I think we're at an ending. And we are going to Saltgrass, I understand.
I have a wild party.
We're going to have a wild party, Tom.
Woohoo!
Yes.
We're going to have some steak. Right? You having steak? Oh, good. Because Roxy was actually thinking that earlier. Is she going to have steak? I hope so. Yes, we're going to have a little steak. Potatoes. Roxy says, what is it? 3 trees, macaroni and cheese? Yeah, the 3 cheese one. Very
Ooh.
good. Oh, yeah. And then some cheesecake. See, I get to experience all this. So I'm gonna
Coming to the party.
Coming to the party. All right, guys, we're going to finish this up on Friday. It's been awesome once again. Thank you for the questions, and I'll bring back Miss Roxanne. All right. Very good, guys. That was fun. Yeah. So, Friday we'll finish it up. We have, I know there's like 35 questions, but one question has 5 big questions in it, so I think we got them all in there. And we just got an email from a guy, and his name was not the one that apparently we were hearing, but his name Paul R. How do you think? How do you make things disappear? Angel said, "Close your eyes."
Yeah.
We'll answer that on Friday. I love you, babies. Talk to you on the next now. Bye.